What's up, YouTube? Shawn DaGamer here. We are on Bleacher Report just so we can go over and look match by match at last night's pay-per-view Payback. It was a really decent show. The thing about Raw is those Raws are unbearable sometimes, and they're just really, really hard to watch. But then you get to the pay-per-view, and they're always at least enjoyable. And this is another example of that. We had Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns, the women's title match, Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. What else did we have? Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens for United States title, and if Jericho wins, he goes to SmackDown. So let's just jump right into this. Start off with like the pre-show stuff. We had Finn Balor on Miz TV. That was a little fun segment. The Miz got a little upset. Like, it took me 5 minutes. It took him 5 minutes to get out to the ring. Yada yada yada. They just had a little back and forth and things like that. Daniel Bryan. The Miz was just going on. You're too small to try to get your title back from Brock Lesnar, because Miz did ask Finn, like, what are your plans for the future? Yada yada yada. He's just like, I want my title back. Miz was like, you can't beat Brock, yada yada yada. Started talking some mess, jumped in front of Maurice, or jumped behind Maurice for protection. Didn't really work. He still got attacked at the end. So that segment ended with Finn Balor standing strong. And then we also had Enzo and Cass versus the Club. Decent little tag team match for the pre-show crowd. Enzo and Cass did pull out a win over the Club. I thought the Club was going to win, but like I said, if things happened the way I thought they were going to happen, I knew some of this stuff was happening. Well, not new, but I kind of, how WWE works, you can kind of see how things are going to go. So once Enzo and Cass won, I kind of figured out that what was going to happen in a Hardy situation. So let's scroll down a little bit and we jump into the main card. I believe the show actually started off with the tag team title match. No, it started off with the United States title match. I knew that, but I don't know. I just want to talk about that whole Hardy stuff. But we are here, Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens. It was a good match to start the show. Back and forth, hard hitting action. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, I think they just know each other very well at this point. They've had a few matches. They've worked together for almost a year now, if not a whole year at this point. So everything was really, really good in the match. It went fluidly. We saw Jericho look great against Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens did a lot in this match. We saw some good power spots. He did the cannonball. I think he tried to go for a frog splash at one point. Just a really, really good back and forth match. Around the end of the match, Jericho started locking in the walls of Jericho, and then we saw Kevin Owens do the one finger, save himself thing again, pissed off Jericho. He had to break the walls, and then he tried to break Kevin Owens' hand, took it in between the steel steps, crushed it, and then put him back into the walls of Jericho after Kevin Owens started to get the upper hand. He tried to hit the pop-up power bomb, but he didn't have enough power in his hand. His hand was hurting. Jericho, I think he hit him with a code breaker, then put him back into the walls of Jericho to make Kevin Owens tap out. And now Jericho is, I believe, a 2-time United States champion, 9-time Intercontinental champion, 2-time U.S. champion, 6-time World Heavyweight champion, multiple time tag team champion. So Jericho's, he's been around the way a few times. So now he is going to move over to the SmackDown brand, where we could see him actually drop the title to somebody else in the near future. Maybe back to Kevin Owens, or maybe to somebody else. I don't think he's going to have the belt too long, and we still might see Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles for the United States title at Backlash. And then I believe the next match on this card was the Cruiserweight Championship match, Austin Aries versus Neville. Now, I think I had to go pick up my mom for like the first half of this match, but when I came back, they were beating the hell out of each other. Really good back and forth match. These two always know what they need to do. This match probably could have been match of the night. It was a really, really good match, but the match ended with Neville ending up in the last chancery. Neville was about to tap out, but he grabbed the ref instead and like slung him behind the ring. And that's automatic calls for disqualification, putting your hands on the ref. So that's what happened. Aries wins the match, but does not win the title. So Aries did win, and Neville did retain. So I'm fine with the results. I just don't really like the ending, but it was a really, really, really good match altogether. And then we go into the Hardys versus Sheamus and Cesaro. This match might have been match of the night. Either this one or the women's match. They were just going back and forth. Jeff lost a tooth. I think he lost a tooth in a bro kick or something. Matt got busted open. It was just hard hitting when it came to Sheamus and Cesaro. And then you have the tactical aerial, more quote unquote flashy stuff with the Hardys, and it was just a really, really good match. The Hardys did win this match barely. At the end of the match, there was like a spot where I think Sheamus hit white noise off the second rope to Matt Hardy. Barely got a break up from Jeff. Then they just started going back and forth. Jeff and Cesaro on the outside beating the hell out of each other. And then I believe Sheamus got another like bro kick or a big offensive move out on Matt Hardy. But Jeff made the blind tag. And then when Sheamus was going for the cover, Jeff hit a swanton on the back. It was like literally like they squished him. Like Matt was on the bottom, Sheamus was getting pinned, and then swanton 1, 2, 3. They retained. They teased a little bit more mutual friendship and respect. Shook hands. The Hardys started to go pose. Matt accidentally drops the belt. Starts doing his own yes, wonderful stuff. But a few seconds later, Sheamus and Cesaro come in and put a brutal beat down on the Hardys. And then a little while later, we start getting the tweets. Let me just click over here. I should have this up from. I didn't go to Jeff page yet. You got Matt page. This is actually Matt tweeting out or retweeting like delete the sportsmanship. Malik whatever. He's talking in broken isms. So I expect to see them very, very soon. You obsolete heretics. You have no idea what you've just done. So, toothless and broken. Okay, see, that's, you know what? It's happening sooner than later. If not this week, they are going to start the transformation into the broken gimmick. So, Hardy's retained. I thought they was going to probably lose then, in a brutal match. And then, after they just get beat down, lose the titles, then maybe you do another like post-match beat down like they did here, and then that sets off their brokenness. But losing a tooth and getting beat the hell up, and hit his head a couple of times, so we can definitely see that. Then we go on to the women's championship match, another contender for match of the night. Did these two matches really go on back to back? See, no. So, you had Alexa versus Bayley. These two were just going at it. Bayley started off the match with the upper hand using her power. Then Alexa Bliss just started, working her blissful magic. Started getting the upper hand, just being a heel, stepping on her hair, pulling her arms up. So, and then, it was just a lot of good back and forth action. At one point, Alexa Bliss ran Bayley like head shoulder first into the middle turnbuckle, and then something happened. They were trying to do like a top rope spot. They started getting down. Bayley started attacking Alexa Bliss in the corner, and then Alexa got out the way, countered, and Bayley's head hit the ring post on the bottom. The reference to go check on her, and Alexa's like, "She's fine." Hits her with a DDT. 1, 2, 3. New women's champion in Alexa Bliss. I love it. I love Alexa. I love Bayley. But like I said, ever since she moved to the main roster, something about Bayley has been off. Those long-winded promos that they have her cutting are not for Bayley. Bayley should just always be at the monitor. Somebody comes up and say "Hey Bayley, here's your opponent for tonight. What do you think?" She just says a few words and then goes out and do what she does, like she did at NXT. But on Raw, you have to cut promos. But Alexa Bliss is a good promo. she is quickly improving, and she's like one of the best wrestlers uh, to come up from NXT. She's just been shining. If you have people like Dillinger. Well, let's put it like this. You had people like Tyler Breeze, Nia Jax, Fandango, and a whole list of other people who came up and didn't really do much or got stale. Dana Brooks, but Alexa Bliss, ever since she's arrived on the main roster, she has been a threat to the top title on whatever brand she has been on. And hopefully Alexa can hold this belt at least until SummerSlam or whenever they... Hopefully she doesn't drop it too soon. I don't know if they still want Bayley versus Sasha for the title at Mania, but I think at this point you just start stretching that out and try to hold it off until at least WrestleMania for Sasha versus Bayley. But like I said, I love Alexa winning. I think I had her winning, but I just felt like WWE would let Bayley retain, and then Sasha comes out and turn heel. We didn't get any Sasha Banks, so we did get a good match. And then we go on to Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe. Another good match. It's what you would expect from two wrestlers like this. You have the giant wrestler versus the more athletic. It was hard to say because Samoa Joe is very athletic, but you guys know what I'm saying. The more aerial versus the more brutal style. So it was just a nice little clash. These two work very well together, and hopefully we can get some more matches on from them in the future. But it's not really too much to this match, just a basic match, and Seth Rollins did win via pinfall, so they gave it a B. I'll probably give it more like a C plus or something. And then we have part 1 of House of Horrors. So if you don't know what the House of Horrors match was, it's 2 different parts. So part 1 was them actually fighting in like this haunted house type thing, which was pretty cool. It was just a little bit overproduced. You're probably gonna hear that a lot. But for the concept of what it is, I think this is just a little birth or prelude to some other stuff that we can see the Hardys doing. So I think hopefully this is just a test to see how they want to do like final deletion type stuff in the future. But Bray Wyatt did get the upper hand in this match after they fought in like a room full of dolls, as you can see in that little video clip preview, in the living room and bedrooms, and it finally ended up in the kitchen where Bray Wyatt just threw a refrigerator on Randy Orton. He stole the limousine that Randy came to the house in and went back to the arena, and I think we had like 1 or 2 segments in between that. But that first part, it could have been a little bit, I guess, quote unquote creepier, but it was decent. Like I said, I think this is just a prelude. Oh, so okay, I knew they just put it all together. So in the second half of this, it went back to the arena. They got in the arena. Bray came out, and then Randy Orton came out of nowhere. I don't know where he came from. And Bray didn't either, because he just had this look of shock on his face. They kept fighting. What I think they should have did was like had weapons like around the ring, like it's a no DQ match once he got back into the arena. So they should have had at least some type of props set around the arena as well, just to give it more of a House of Horrors feel, like rocking chairs with like weird things. Set up like pictures and memorials. I don't know. I'm sorry. Or like just set up some stuff around the ring to give it like this more creepy-ish vibe or something like that. Have like weapons hanging from like poles. They do that already. Or they're good for having something on the pole matches. So they could have did some stuff like that just to give it a little bit more creepy vibe. But once Randy Orton started getting the upper hand, it looked like he was gonna win. I think the Singh brothers came out first and started attacking Randy Orton. And then after the Singh brothers came out and then Jinder Mahal came up, followed up, Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3, Bray Wyatt wins House of Horrors. And then we go on to the main event of the evening, Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. And Braun Strowman simply just destroyed Roman Reigns. Reigns did get some offense in, but it was nothing compared to what Braun was doing to Roman. Just a brutal beatdown. Braun did get the pinfall victory. And then after the match, if you stayed a little bit after the pay-per-view, when they were going into Raw Talk, Braun Strowman continued the attack on Roman Reigns, and that's probably going to send Roman off for a few more weeks to recover. I'm gonna say recurse. Like, what the hell? Recover. But the funny thing about Braun versus Roman Reigns is the crowd reaction. Braun is getting the babyface reaction and Roman is getting the heel reaction, and they are doing the complete opposite things in the ring. So the good thing about this for Braun is when he actually fights somebody like a Finn Balor or, you know, another top babyface or something like that, Seth Rollins or anybody like that, the roles should be getting reversed. Like Braun Strowman should be getting that massive heat, and whoever he's facing, you know, will get that strong babyface reaction, because the people they've been trying to do this with aren't really very invested in by the crowd. Like they try to do a Kalisto, Golden Truth, and some other people, but do it with other people we care about. Like if this was Sami Zayn in the dumpster match against Roman Reigns, trust me, you would have heard the boos and the heel heat and all that stuff in the appropriate places. But in this match, we're getting thank you, Romans, you deserve it. He got the hell beat out of him. He got sent through like an ambulance door or some type of door. And like, I'm not through what you get, and just made a beeline and just threw him through something. I was half asleep at that point. I was just like, oh my god, he's dead. Then I fell asleep. But I'm probably going to go back and rewatch a lot of that stuff. A lot of these matches, especially the women's match, the tag team match, and probably this match. Probably just go back and watch the whole pay-per-view again. It ended a little early, but whatever. I would probably give this a solid like C+, B- pay-per-view. Great. It was really, really good. Like 6.5, 7 out of 10. It was very entertaining through the whole night. The House of Horror stuff, as interesting as it was, did kind of fall flat once it got into the arena. They could have probably did a little bit more beat down on Matt and Jeff to turn them into the broken gimmick. Other than that, that's about it. I think I got most of my predictions right, at least half of them. I said Braun was going to win. But that doesn't really matter. I know I thought Kevin Owens was going to win, but Jericho won. I kind of wanted the club to win, but Enzo and Cass won. I felt like Bayley was going to win. And Alexa Bliss might win by like DQ or something. Kind of like what happened. I thought what was going to happen in the Cruiserweight match was probably going to happen in the women's match, where Alexa wins, but she wins by like DQ, so she doesn't really get the belt or something like that. Sasha Banks interferes. But all in all, good pay-per-view. I hope Raw can follow up. I'm just looking forward to Backlash. Hopefully Ty Dillinger shows up this week. So there's going to be a lot more wrestling videos coming up this week. Get a few theories and predictions out there as well on some other stuff, you know, like I had some theories, like some tag team theories, and like or some videos like where it went wrong, how they botched certain stuff from like last year leading up to now, like the women's division, the cruiserweights, the tag team division. So expect those videos to be up sometime soon as well. If you're new here and you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe and like buttons. And once you do that, please hit the little bell next to the subscribe button to be notified whenever a new video goes live on the channel. Share this video out with your friends so they can get in on the discussion as well. But you know what? One time for the one time. You know, we got to hit it up. Little Miss Bliss is your new... Can you see that? It's all shiny. Is your new women's champion on Raw. She made history to become the first woman to hold the SmackDown and Raw women's titles. I'm just happy. It could have been Charlotte, but it wasn't. It was Alexa Bliss, so they're putting some accolades in her belt, some notches under her belt. So, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch all linked in the description below. If you want to donate to the channel to get some better audio quality, better mic, there is a donation link for PayPal, also link down there. But with all that being said, I am Shawn DaGamer, and I got caught in my hair, out of here.